4 tips for massive productivity today on the Daily Ish Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily Ish Show, a show not just for rental housing providers, but anybody looking to get a little bit more white space on your calendar. It's good to see you. Happy Friday. It's the end of the week, and I am officially done with travel for at least until baby Liliana comes. So that is pretty much the theme of what's going on in the house. So that should be another 3.5 weeks. So thanks for reaching out, and well wishes for Jen, my bride. Prayers to her for are very much appreciated for just that the time goes fast. I don't want to wish time away, of course, but she is definitely uncomfortable and definitely ready for Liliana to come. She is a she bounces around about 20 out of 24 hours. She's a very active child. So my poor bride, please keep her in your prayers for sure. But so today we are going to be talking about defining your best energy, but basically around the concept of 4 tips for massive productivity. And I know it's just always about trying to get more done in a day, right? But really, this is not about time management, because time management really, honestly, it's not possible. You can't take 20 minutes of time, jam it into a jar, bury it in your backyard, and manage it for another time, right? It's really more about energy management. So let's talk about that in 4 tips about how to do that. And we're going to do this really quickly, and then we're going to wrap this up with a nice little bow and get our weekend started. So this is something that you can think about for next week, or if you are working tomorrow, maybe you can start this today. But for those of you who know about defining your best energy of the day, we're gonna let me back into this really quickly before we get too far down the road, and I want to get this some context. For those of you who've been following the show for a while, you know I'm about the time wealthy, or having a time wealthy advantage. So having that time wealthy advantage is really following around the concept of the VIP method, which stands for vision, infrastructure, and process. Okay, vision, infrastructure, and process. Let me get my slides right here. So vision, infrastructure, and process. Now, vision is specifically where you want to go. Vision is where you specifically want to go. So it means specifically it's defining the thing that you want. What do you want in your life, right? So now, a lot of times what I hear is when people say, oh, I've got my vision, I know what it is I want to accomplish. And what they're giving me is actually a business vision. We're talking about specifically personal vision. Now, not saying that business vision is irrelevant, but business vision has to come after personal vision, right? Because if you have a business vision, okay, now listen, if you have a business vision that comes after, or if the business vision comes before personal vision, right, you're going to end up creating a life that exists to serve the business. Let me say that again. If you have a business vision that's defined first, you're going to end up creating a life that exists to serve the business. Ask me how I know. Okay. So all of this is really around having a personal vision first and having a business that serves that personal vision, right? Makes sense? So the infrastructure and process part of the VIP method, that's the system part, right? That's where the system comes in. There's a lot of times when people come to me and looking for a strategic small business coach, they're saying, hey, look, I really want systems. Well, the systems are really not that hard, but they're definitely more difficult when you really don't know where it is you're trying to go. Okay. So now that you know where you want to go, right? What are you doing next is taking action. Taking action is really important in something called the rule of 5. Okay. So the rule of 5 follows that if you had the biggest tree, let's say that I'm in a room that's roughly 15 by 15. So if this room represented the biggest tree, and you had a very sharp axe, and you took 5 whacks at that tree every single day, eventually that tree is going to fall down, right? So that's what the rule of 5 follows. The rule of 5 follows, like, if you have 5 very specific things that you're going to do, 5 very specific things that you're going to do every single day to knocking down that goal, whatever the goal is, eventually that goal, you're going to achieve it, right? So that's why it's important to have 5 very actionable things. Now, I'm talking about 5 very actionable things towards that goal. It doesn't mean like check email. That's not actionable. I'm talking about 5 very specific things towards that goal. Doesn't mean like, check voicemail, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Or answer phone. That's not it. It's 5 very specific actions towards the achievement of that goal. So that might mean setting a meeting with a very specific person, right? That might mean do 3 very specific marketing pieces, for example, right? Now, once you've identified the most important things to get done, the rule of 5, once you get those 5 things done, now what you're going to do is allocate your best energy to those tasks, preferably before lunch. Okay? So before you go laying face down on your cheeseburger, and this massively more disturbing photo here, or to follow the theme of the pregnancy going on in our house. There you go. That's it right there. But let's face it, for most of us, the best energy is going to be before lunch, right? Because that's going to be the time where you're fresh, you're driven. I mean, maybe even you reward yourself with lunch by getting your 5 things done. Okay? But the most important thing that you have to do is you have to commit. You have to commit to getting those 5 things done. And it's really important that you be held accountable. And that's one of the things as a coach. And I would argue that any coach is actually holding you accountable, because there's a lot of folks out there that are calling themselves coaches, but they don't have an accountability component. And they may have really good advice, but if they are not holding you accountable, I'm sorry, I don't consider them a coach. They need to hold you accountable. And it doesn't mean that you stop doing business with them, but you have to have an accountability component, and especially someone who is not afraid to hold you accountable. So if they are holding on to limiting beliefs that, oh my gosh, what if they fire me because I'm holding them accountable, which has happened to me. I have held people accountable. They didn't like it. They thought they wanted accountability, but no, coach, not that kind of accountability, right? It's tough, man. Accountability is tough, especially, trust me. I got a 2-day master class or mastermind that I got out of on Monday and Tuesday. And those folks were holding me accountable to my BS, right? So it's really important that you have someone in that circle that helps hold you accountable. All right. Well, that's all I have, everybody. If you would like to have more of a discussion around this or any other topic, not necessarily around about buying, hold, investing, or this is certainly one channel that I know. But if you're a small business entrepreneur and just would like to have more conversation about being held accountable, I'm happy to have that conversation with you. And you just go to landlordcoach.com, reach out, and I will happily, we can talk see what that looks like. All right. All right, everybody. That is all I have. I'm going to get my weekend started. Please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. Most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.